The old saying goes, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. But what do you do when life gives you cancer? This is not a sob story, this is Stephen's story. I was diagnosed in September 2010. Altogether I've undergone about 7 lots of surgery, 30 sessions of radiotherapy and 4 different regimes of chemotherapy, and soon I'll be starting a 5th. The aim of Stephen's story is to spread as much positivity as possible, to show people what it's like to have something go wrong with your life but not to be defined by it.
I think one of the things that Stephen always stresses is, I may have cancer, but cancer doesn't have me. It doesn't have to be about suffering.
1 week after the original operation to remove tumours from my bowel, and one day I was at the hospital, I ended up going to a fancy dress party. The surgeon gave me advice to go home, take it easy and basically do nothing. But I decided to go to this party dressed as a granny, in a wheelchair. And because of how much weight I'd lost and because of how thin and pale I was pretty convincing. But by the end of the night I was being pushed around in front of a conga line in my wheelchair, having an absolutely fantastic time. And this was me from the off making a statement of how I was going to overcome my illness.
Stephen Sutton was an exceptional student. Exceptional in academic terms, securing some of the best results we have ever seen in the history of this school.
He was going through chemo once a fortnight, and literally the only time he had off school throughout the whole thing were the 3 days where he was having the chemo.
Stephen is perhaps the most amazing person I've ever met, you know, let alone student.
He's very special because he refuses to let this beat him or govern the rest of his life.
He stuck 2 fingers up at cancer basically, and I think that's the kind of attitude that the people in this school needed to see.
It's made lots of young people here think quite differently about the sorts of decisions they're making and how they need to make the best of their opportunities.